All right, this topic is a little bit controversial. I want to talk a little bit about the difference between trusting someone and forgiving someone. So, some of you have heard of the old adage that you need to forgive and forget. Now, I want to just stop here and ask you to ask yourself this question real quick. What is more mentally healthy? Now, we know that forgiveness can bring some clarity to mind. It can relieve some anxiety. It can relieve some negative emotion. But what about the part of forgetting? Now, you might think, okay, well, forgetting, yeah, I mean, if I'm forgetting something, then it's not going to affect me, right? Ask yourself that question. Is not forgetting, or I'm sorry, is forgetting something actually, are you actually forgetting it? Is that even possible for you to just forget it? Is it even a real thing to forgive and forget? People say it all the time, and they just say, well, you just need to forgive and forget. What does that mean? What does it mean to forgive and forget? So does that mean that, okay, you forgive the person for their wrongdoings against you, and then what does forgetting actually mean? Because I don't think anybody's actually saying, oh, you need to like wipe that memory from your brain, correct? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Or are they essentially implying you need to forget what wrongdoing was done to you and therefore pretend as though that wrong thing never happened? So it's pretend. It's forgive and pretend to forget. How mentally healthy is that? So when I talk to my clients about this, I talk a lot about this kind of stuff, and this topic comes up a lot. And when I talk to my clients about it, this is my own opinion about this topic, and I want to hear from you guys and what you think and what your opinions are about, forgiving, forgetting, and trust. So when I talk to people, I go, look, I think it's more than appropriate for you if you want to forgive somebody and you feel like the weight of not forgiving somebody or something is weighing you down, it's probably a good idea to spend some mental energy on the idea of forgiving somebody. But does that mean you have to trust them? No. In my opinion, I don't think you have to trust that person ever again if you don't want to. That's your choice. And I don't think that it's not mentally healthy to not trust somebody. So, for example, I mean, we're taught in this world a lot of times to, judge the people that you interact with, judge situations, judge what kinds of things that you might be getting yourself into that's good or bad, right? It doesn't mean that you have to condemn the people, but what I'm trying to say is that I don't think that you need to trust them. If you own a business, let's say you own a grocery store and you hire somebody to work for you and they steal from you, you can forgive that person, but that doesn't mean that you have to employ them, right? Why would anybody put themselves in a situation where they know that they can't trust that other person or people or group or whatever? Why would they continuously put themselves in that situation where they know they can't trust them and they still think that they need to try to trust them because that's part of forgiveness? It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't have anything to do with forgiveness. To me, they're completely separate things. I don't think that you can really forget what people have done to you, especially if it's really horrible. And I think it's your choice on whether or not you want to forgive those people. You have to judge how much not forgiving those people is really impacting your own emotional well-being. If you don't feel like it's impacting your emotional well-being that much, and you can move on with your life because you know that you've had somebody in your life that you can't trust anymore, and that continuously hurt you or hurt other people, and you're judging that person's character and how well that is, or how good of a fit that is for you in your life, I don't feel like you need to. I mean, you have to be really honest with yourself about that. If you're still holding resentments and grudges, that means that you haven't really letting that issue go, and that there's something that you still need to continue to process with that. But I don't think you need to trust anybody after they have hurt you before. I can buy into the idea that, somebody hurts you, you forgive them, and you can trust them again. And then if they do it again, then, fine, don't trust them again after that. I just don't think that you need to have this mental attitude or idea that you have to do it every single time. I don't think that there are people in this world sometimes that are worth trusting. And I think all of you listening to this would probably be able to relate and go, yeah, I've known people in my life that over time, been hurt by them so much that I just don't trust them. And so I separate myself from them. To me, that's more mentally healthy than continuously putting yourself in a situation where you're going to get hurt over and over and over again. So anyways, those are my thoughts about that. Tell me what you guys think about this. Have you ever had issues trusting people or forgiving people? Do you see a difference in the two? What do you think about the whole, forgive and forget? What do you think's more mentally healthy for a person? I'm curious to know your thoughts. So anyways, appreciate you listening.